Hey guys, this is Banov, and we're gonna do more developer commentary for Dubloon. Yeah! Alright. I'm excited. And underleveled. Just how I like it. Alright, so this is the fourth and final fight with Bradley. Pretty crazy. And this whole thing where like you fight these guys before you fight Bradley. And why did I do that? Why did I do that? I guess I well, at the time I was sort of trying to mix up the basic like Bradley fight you know, mechanics, because it's basically always just been you four fight Bradley once, you know, with each fight trying to add new moves and gimmicks and stuff. So for this one I decided to make it a two-part fight, probably because these types of things are actually fairly common, I think, in a lot of other games. I didn't really have one yet, and it seemed like it would make sense for at least one fight, you know. Plus, you know, in the beginning of the game you see Bradley with all his goons, so, you know, I thought you might want to like get to knock out some regular Navy dudes before you fight Bradley. And it adds a bit more edge to it, because you sort of have to balance out how much magic you're using in this fight, you know, saving it for the next one, etc. Things like that. So just a little something to spice up the fight. Plus you get introduced to the new Navy enemies. Level up. Just sort of reminiscing, reading these sorta quickly. Oh, you know what else was important? I remember, I mean, there was earlier on, like, I sort of planned to have Bradley really close to the end of the game, because usually the way it works is like you'll have, like, you know, the main like antagonist, like Bradley, sort of the one who's been throughout the game. You fight him second to last, like right before the final boss. Is usually how they do it. But well, I realized at this point that I was sort of like I knew that, you know, Doman, the leader of the Navy, would be the final boss for this dungeon. But since I hadn't really introduced him before, it seemed like if I just threw him in at the end, it would be really awkward. Like, it just wouldn't work. So I put this fight in the beginning to sort of, because Bradley has some important lines where he sort of talks about how the leader of the Navy is super powerful and all. So yeah, sorry, I'm like getting totally lost, spacing out. So the point was, yeah, basically just to build up the head of the Navy's reputation a little bit through cutscene before you actually go and fight him. Plus, it sort of made sense that like entering into the base, you sort of had, I guess, something a bit more meaty than just like a basic. You just like walk into the front door. You know, I wanted to have something a little legitimate in the front for you to get through. So this fight sort of filled that purpose nicely. Pfft, miss. Suck. Actually had some lines that Brad uses here that I sort of thought him up before, where he talks about, like, you know, how evil pirates are and all that. I had sort of been like made up in my head for the final boss, and then I decided to put him in here, and I had to think of some new ones when I got to the final boss. So yeah, you know. Do. That's right. Be all shocked. Doop, 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 doop. Maybe I should like do some cheating to make the fights run even faster than there's usually allowed. Because I run slow for recording, so I could like balance it out. Wouldn't even be too hard to do. The thing about boost is that it only boosts one attack. So even though Ant's multi-hit fire spin attack is technically normally is more powerful than like the one-hit flare rush move, when it's boosted, flare rush is actually way better because it benefits its one hit is boosted. Yes. How much should I do? Icicle. Doopy-doo. He's not putting up too much of a fight. Ah, it's running even slower. Goodness gracious, what's going on? Yes. So I just checking my battery settings here, making sure my computer is set to... Oh, that's why. Plug came out. Yep, on a laptop. Runs much slower when it's not plugged in. Still slow, though. He's in counter, of course, which means that any hit to him is pretty deadly for you because he does this crazy counterattack. There you go. Boost critical. Okay. And this scene is sort of something I added, like, really at the last second. But it was important. I realized I didn't want Bradley to just, like, sort of explode and die, like most bosses. He had something to do something special, so I gave Riley a chance to get some official revenge for killing his dad. And that's what I did. And for this little part, everyone gets 0 speed, so their bars don't fill up, except for Riley, who gets a little bit faster. And Bradley's defense is set to like 0. So when he gets hit, the damage is ridiculous. And the point is that like his defenses are down and he has no resistance and he just takes that attack full force and dies. Okay. Well, because my computer's running slow, about at the 10-minute mark, so I'm just gonna like call this an episode. And then next time we will go into the base. It'll be crazy.